Hello, dear students. Welcome back to our news channel. Let's go to the article of the day. We have the escalation in West Asia. Students, in this article, we'll be dealing with certain extremist. What do you mean by extremist group? Basically, those groups who choose violence to achieve their goal, right? So we have certain extremist group in Western Asia, right? And for this, you'll be needing a map of West Asia. Here it is, right? So this is Mediterranean Sea, and this is Israel, and the neighboring countries are Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt, right? So the first extremist group that we'll be learning today is Hezbollah. Okay, it is Hezbollah. What is a Hezbollah, students? It is a Lebanon group, basically an extremist group, and it is a powerful group that operates in Lebanon. Okay, so it operates in Lebanon. Yes, and it was founded in the early 1980s during Lebanon's civil war. And the group is both a political party and an armed militant group, right? So it's also a political party, but at the same time it is also regarded as an extremist group, right? So the ideology they have is to resist Israeli occupation in the region and promote the influence of Shia Islam, right? And they have strong ties with the country Iran, right? So this is about Hezbollah, and Hezbollah holds significant political power in Lebanon's government, but it is also involved in military operations, especially against Israel. Okay, and it has been labeled a terrorist organization by several countries. Although it is supported by Iran and Syria, still it is being labeled as a terrorist organization. So many in Lebanon support Hezbollah for resisting foreign influence, while there are also other people who criticize the group for dragging Lebanon into conflicts. But yes, Hezbollah is a group which is based in Lebanon. All right. And then, so yes, so first we had Hezbollah. And then second, we have Hamas. Okay. So students, Hamas is a Palestinian organization that controls the Gaza Strip. Yes, this is the Gaza Strip. Okay. And this organization, it controls the Gaza Strip, and it was founded in the year 1987. Okay, and Hamas also promotes the establishment of an Islamic state in historical Palestine. Okay, so they also opposes the existence of Israel, right? And Hamas governs Gaza, and it also provides social services like education and healthcare. However, it also has a military wing which frequently engages in conflict with Israel. Uh, but it also provides social services to the people of Palestine, right? And Hamas is regarded as a terrorist organization by many countries due to its attacks on civilians. However, students, Hamas group, it also enjoys significant support from many Palestinians for its resistance to Israeli occupation, right? So the common feature of these two extremist group is that both Hezbollah and Hamas receive support from other countries like Iran that opposes Israeli occupation, right? And these groups frequently clash with Israel, so it leads to a cycle of violence in this whole region. All right, and their activities often lead to severe consequences for civilians in Lebanon, Gaza, and Israel, where many innocent people suffer as a result of this ongoing conflict. Students, you need to understand the reasons behind the existence and action of these groups are complex. All right, it often involves religion, politics, history, and as well as foreign intervention. Right. So this is about the Hezbollah and Hamas. But what is the issue? And we also have another extremist group. It is known as the Houthi rebels. Houthi rebels, and they operate in Yemen. Okay, they operate in Yemen. So Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, Houthi rebels in Yemen. But today we are going to talk about these two groups, right? So yes. So, what is the context? Why we are talking about the extremist group of Middle Asia? Students, we know we are well aware of the issue which is going on in West Asia, and particularly involving Israel, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Hamas in Gaza. And tensions surged after Israel launched airstrikes in Lebanon, right? And many key leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah were assassinated, right? So the ongoing Gaza war, students, it is marked uh, by intense clash between Israel and Hamas, right? What happened last year on October 7? Palestinian militant group Hamas attacked southern Israel. Yes. So it led to the killing of around 1,200 Israelis, and they also took the hostage of 250 Israelis. And in return, Israel launched its massive retaliation, in which more than 41,000 Palestinians have been killed. Right? So tensions have escalated after a series of rockets from Gaza, from its series of rocket attacks from Gaza, it prompted Israeli airstrikes in retaliation. So this was the issue which uh, happened last year, right? And the conflict has resulted in significant casualties on both sides, with Gaza facing widespread devastation due to Israeli bombardments, right? Even civilian infrastructure like homes and hospitals have been severely impacted, and it increased the humanitarian crisis in the region. Although international efforts tried to intervene, and they also broker uh, for a ceasefire, but this has been so far unsuccessful, and the issue is still going on. The conflict is still going on. And the context is that there's a on September 17 and 18, there in Lebanon, yes, in the country Lebanon. Just a second, students. Yes, yes, this is the country Lebanon. So there were recent explosions involving pagers and walkie-talkies in Lebanon, right? And this have further escalated tensions in the region. And these explosions, which killed several people, including Hezbollah members, and injured thousands, have, attracted widespread controversy. The devices reportedly compromised before being distributed, and it were used by Hezbollah members as a communication alternative after there were concerns about cell phone security infiltration by Israel. So this issue where this news where we can see that the pagers exploded. So Hezbollah, the group which operates in Lebanon, they have labeled it as a act of war against Lebanon. Yes. Yes, here you can see that Hezbollah leader, they said the attacks were a terrorist attack and declaration of war against Lebanon and its people. Right? So it intensified its already fraught relations with Israel. And the explosions occurred in area with Hezbollah presence, including, in the region of southern Lebanon. So it caused chaos in local hospitals, and the security concerns were also increased. And this incident, students, this particular incident, yes, where the pagers and handheld radios exploded, this incident, it has drawn international attention, especially given the ongoing conflict between Hezbollah and Israel, because it has also raised broader concern about the security of electronic devices in conflict zones. Okay, the security of electronic devices in conflict zone, this also raises concern about such things. Right, now students, let's go to the let's analyze this article in a deeper level. Students, from the perspective of international relations and geopolitics, this incident is a critical development in the ongoing tensions between Hezbollah and Israel. Why? Because we know that Hezbollah is a powerful militant and political group in Lebanon, and it is known for its anti-Israel stance. Right. So this explosion, which is attributed to Israeli influence, intelligence, it raises the stakes in their ongoing conflict. So by compromising Hezbollah's communication tools, Israel could be signaling its technological superiority and its ability to infiltrate Hezbollah's operations. And this move could also push Hezbollah to retaliate, which might result in a cycle of violence. एक साइकिल सी बनती जाएगी, क्योंकि अभी हेजबोला के जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइसेस है उसको इन्फिल्ट्रेट किया गया है। तो यानी कि अब जो बात है वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिवाइसेस, साइबर सिक्योरिटी के इशू पर भी आ सकती है, और इसको रिटेलिएट करने के लिए हेजबोला और एग्रेसिव एक्शन ले सकता है। Right, so it has the geopolitical aspect to it. See, we know that Iran backs the Hezbollah, and it is a part of its broader strategy to exert its influence in the Middle East, often which is often done through proxy groups जैसे ये हो गए Hezbollah, Hamas, right? And Hezbollah is one of Iran's main tools in its opposition to Israel, and the weakening of Hezbollah's capabilities could prompt Iran to increase its support. In एक ईरान को लगेगा कि उसको अपने जो सपोर्ट है उसको इंक्रीज करना चाहिए. So this dynamic ties the incident to the larger struggle of power in the Middle East, right? Particularly between between the Iran and its regional adversaries, जैसे सऊदी हो गया या फिर इजराइल हो गया. तो एक इसको ब्रॉडर तरीके से हमें समझना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि जियोपॉलिटिकल जो इम्पैक्ट है इस इंसिडेंट का वो काफी ज्यादा है. अब क्या होगा कि हेजबोला, क्योंकि एक हेजबोला का लेबनान में जो ग्रुप है, लेबनान बेस्ड जो ग्रुप है, उसको ईरान सपोर्ट करता है. तो अब इस इजराइल के इस अटैक से, ऑल्दो इजराइल ने इसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं ली है, इस पर्टिकुलर अटैक की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं ली है, बट ऐसा कहा जा रहा है कि इजरायली इंटेलिजेंस ने ही ये अटैक करवाया है. तो इसको रिटेलिएट करने के लिए अब ऐसा हो सकता है कि शायद हेजबोला और फर्दर वॉयलेंट एक्शन ले. And we also need to understand the Israel's position. See, Israel's strategy, it seems to be focused on neutralizing threats from groups like Hezbollah. But the explosion of compromised communication devices, it serves as a reminder of Israel's technological edge. However, this move, it also might provoke backlash not just from Hezbollah but also from other regional players which who are sympathetic to the group, and this will further lead to instability in Middle Asia. Okay, Middle Asia में और further instability बढ़ सकती है, क्योंकि ये जो अटैक है, इसको ऐसे देखा जा रहा है कि इजराइल का जो टेक्नोलॉजिकल एज है, जो कि इट हैज इट डिमॉन्स्ट्रेटेड थ्रू साइबर अटैक्स एंड इंटेलिजेंस ऑपरेशन। तो एक तरीके से ये देखा जाता है कि हेजबोला के जो ये कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड कम्युनिकेशन हुआ है और इजराइल का एक टेक्नोलॉजिकल एज है, तो इससे जो बाकी जो ग्रुप्स है वो फर्दर हेजबोला को सपोर्ट में आएंगे, राइट? एंड at the international stage, see, the United Nations and other international bodies are likely to view this escalation with concern, and even the UN General Secretary of UN Secretary General Antonio, it has also said on Wednesday that several scenarios are possible over the next few weeks. So even they have raised concern about this widespread violence, and even the इसराइल का एक जो एलाई है यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, उन्होंने भी जो मास स्केल वायलेंस हुआ है, इनोसेंट लोग जो उसमें मरे हैं, उसके लिए उन्होंने बोला है। तो ऑल्दो ये एक ब्रॉड स्ट्रैटेजी में अगर हमें देखने की जरूरत है कि this will it could also lead uh, to calls for restraint from global powers such as United States and European Union, right? And beyond the geopolitical implications, the explosion has already resulted in casualties and damage to civilian infrastructure. So this complicates the situation for Lebanon, which is struggling with an economic crisis and it is home to millions of refugees. So any further escalation of conflict could worsen Lebanon's humanitarian situation, right? And it also prompts for international calls for aid, right? And the incident demonstrates the increasing role of technology in modern warfare. टेक्नोलॉजी का रोल बढ़ता जा रहा है मॉडर्न वॉरफेयर में. So the compromised pagers and radios in Lebanon, it reflects the broader trend of cyber and electronic warfare in the region. Countries like Israel have developed advanced capabilities to disrupt enemy communication, while groups like Hezbollah are trying to adapt by using alternative technologies. Right. So the situation between Israel and Hezbollah is not just about a simple territorial dispute. It's tied to larger geopolitical ambitions of Iran, Syria, and other regional actors. And modern conflicts increasingly involve cyber and electronic tactics, such as infiltrating communications, which have serious consequences for the balance of power in the whole region. Right. Now, why we are what would be the impact on India? See, the escalating tensions in West Asia, including the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah and Hamas, uh, present serious concern for India. Why? Because India, number one, India is heavily dependent on West Asia. For what? For its energy needs. Right? In this paragraph, you can see about 2/3 of India's crude oil and natural gas come from West Asian region. So, right. So any major conflict in this region could disrupt oil supplies and it will lead to price spikes and supply shortages, which would have a direct impact on India's economy. Right. And there are millions of Indian workers. Okay. Some 9 million Indians live and work in these regions. Right. And these people are often the sole breadwinners of their families. So escalating conflicts could put their safety at risk. And additionally, Indian workers in the region, they send billions of dollars in remittances back home each year, which is a important source of foreign exchange for India, right? So a war or even an instability in this region, it could force large scale evacuation. So this will impact both remittances, that the meaning the money they send back home, and employment opportunities. And India has strong ties. When we talk about it from the geopolitical perspective, India has strong ties and strong strategic and economic relationships with both Israel and Iran. So Israel is a key defense and technology partner, while Iran is critical for energy and connectivity projects such as Chabahar port. Right. So an escalation in West Asia could force India into a delicate balancing act where supporting one country could harm its relations with another. एक कंट्री को सपोर्ट के साथ दूसरे कंट्री के साथ रिलेशन खराब हो सकते हैं. लेकिन इंडिया हैज सो फार made no statements on the volatile situation in the region, लेकिन इंडिया पर प्रेशर बन सकता है कि आपको भी एक स्टैंड लेना होगा, आपको भी साइड लेनी होगी, क्योंकि इंडिया has so far managed to walk the diplomatic tightrope between Israel and Palestinians. But if there's going to be any escalation between these two groups, it will mean that Iran will be a part of the conflict. And this will also draw United States. And this whole thing, it will create a more complex diplomatic challenge for India, right? And India has been, asserting itself as a responsible global power. So advocating for peace and stability, it also many times India advocates for peace and stability in international forums. So conflict in West Asia, it might test India's diplomatic efforts to mediate or take a neutral stance, especially since the country is non-permanent member of the UNSC. ओके, तो इंडिया का एक जो न्यूट्रल स्टैंड है उसको एक चैलेंज की तरह चैलेंजिंग हो सकता है फ्यूचर में, क्योंकि अगर सिचुएशन इसी तरह एस्केलेट होती रही, right? So for India, the unfolding situation in West Asia, it's a delicate one. Energy security, safety of Indian workers, and the broader political balancing act between major powers like the US, Iran, and Israel, it all converges to make this conflict of critical concern. So India must carefully, navigate these challenges to protect its national interests while also maintaining its strategic autonomy on the global stage. So that is going to pose a challenge for India. All right, students. So that's it for today. Bye bye. Have a happy learning.